Today, we're going to learn about getting started on a bottom whorl drop spindle versus a top whorl, which is what I usually teach for beginners. But I had a question for what if you're a beginner and you wanted in the spindle you have the bottom whorl. So we're going to cover park and draft, we're going to cover letting it go all the way down, and then we're going to cover wrapping it on. And shout out this beautiful spindle from my friend Ashley Martineau. And depending on when you see this, these may or may not be for sale on my website, so go check it out. So here we go. Spindle. And even though it is basically the same idea for like getting going with spinning, it's obviously a little bit fundamentally different with a bottom whorl spindle. So this is going to be a step-by-step on how to do that. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is get yourself some good roving. I like to teach with roving wool versus like a bat or loose wool. This is a little hunk of a black Shanico wool. So it's kind of a cross between merino and rambouillet, and it's from one of our favorite providers. So what I would have you do is pull off, you know, a decent little section here. And pre-drafting is always important with spinning, especially if you're new. And that's what I mean by just kind of go through like I'm doing here and kind of gently loosen it up. Obviously, you don't want to loosen it up too much, especially on this first little piece, because you want, you got to have enough weight to get it started. Getting your fiber started on a drop spindle is always like the trickiest part. Once you get your fiber started, you're pretty much just rinse and repeat over and over again until you've, filled it up or finished your wool, whatever happens first. So to get started, the same way I would teach you on a top whorl, we'll do for a bottom whorl. So we're just going to sandwich the fiber around your hook, like so. And this, you're not worried about making this super pretty. Get your fiber source going over your wrist. This is literally, I always tell people, I'm like, don't worry about it being perfect until you at least get it wrapped one good time, and then you can start perfecting your yarn from there. Right now, we're just trying to get it attached. So I have it sandwiched. I'm going to take my spindle and twist. And see, it's going to be kind of a weird thickness here, but like I said, I want it to be sturdy enough to hold. So my main difference with a bottom whorl drop spindle is it's not quite as easy to stick it under your arm. You can still stick it under your arm, but just maybe not, you have to kind of rest it on your side, under your wrist a little bit more, or maybe further down by your elbow, so you can see where it's at on me. So like I said, with a top whorl spindle, the whorl is up here, so you just have this long stick, so that's a little easier to stick back that way. The main difference here with the bottom whorl is, like I said, you'll have to kind of figure out where I have short arms and am generally a thick person, so with me, I think this would be easiest kind of gently put almost down kind of under my elbow. And then you're going to, now I'll come up so you can see it's kind of down under my elbow like a chicken wing. Super flattering, I know all of this. And I've still got my twist is going from here to here. I haven't let go of that yet. So my twist is still here. And then you're going to do your usual thing I teach where you got your pinch. I'm going to pinch under my pinch. And so basically, here this is funny, I have to film it a different way and I'm used to filming it. The twist is now trapped between here and my finger, and this part's all fluffy. So what you're going to do is going to gently pull up and see how that twist has now run up to here. And that's probably about as much energy as I had in that. So now I'm going to come back and I'm going to twist some more and then put it back kind of under my elbow, just lightly. Honestly, it's more, and I'm short, I've got it more kind of down on the back of the small of my waist. So that's kind of where I've got it. And that actually, I like that, gives me a little bit more room. Then I'm going to repeat the process with letting the twist pull all the way up. And actually, I take it back. I like this. It is, I feel like, easier teaching and for new people if you have the stick to put under your arm. But honestly, it's not bad putting it kind of on. And of course, your body's probably different than my body, but the small of my waist and kind of trapping it. And then that let me get it all the way like a good length here. So now I've spun from my hook, and you can see it's not perfect yarn because, you know, I'm just trying to get it attached. So I have it from here to here, and now I'll show you how to wrap it. Okay, so to wrap it on for your first time with a bottom whorl drop spindle, it's important, more so on a bottom whorl than a top whorl, to have enough yarn spun, like you just saw me do it, from the hook to here to travel down the length of your spindle. Because with a top whorl, if the whorl's, don't lose it, the whorl's at the top, you're just taking it from like here to here, so that's a shorter distance than from here to here. So what I would do, and other people may do this differently, but this is what I would do. I would pull it straight down, and like I said, this is just kind of the first time. Pull it straight down to kind of the bottom, and then I would wrap it a couple of times, depending on how I had a decent amount of yarn left. So then I'm going to bring it from here. You just want to wrap it a couple of times, depending on how I had a decent amount. So I'm going to wrap it several times. So you can see I'm wrapping it around the bottom, maybe one less. And then you're going to bring it up, and you want the twisty part to still be able to come back up and land there. So now you can twist some more. So then you get your twist going again. Put it back wherever it was you found it comfortable to be. And then continue your spinning like so. And then you unhook and continue your wrapping. And like I said, what you want to do is, the goal is you're always wanting to have enough fiber to bring it back up to the hook to, you know, hook it back under the hook, basically. Like so. And then spin again. So it's pretty much, and you can see as you get more comfortable with it, you don't have to put it behind your back. Like I said, this was just like for teaching. With a bottom whorl drop spindle, oops, bumping into my record player here, they work very well traveling down. So, I mean, we could let this spin and travel all the way down. And then, like I said, once you get there, all you're doing is you're unhooking it from there and then wrapping it around. And you see you're just getting a larger bump down there at the bottom. And then when I bring it back up, I'm just slipping it, you know, kind of around the hook like that. And then there you go. And you're off to the races. It's definitely easier if you're not trying to put it under your shoulder, because then you get to use two arms. But for beginners, like I said, if you wanted to do kind of a park and draft method, you can definitely still do that with a bottom whorl drop spindle. So I hope that helps. And I think that's all my tips for spinning on a bottom whorl drop spindle. And I hope that helps. If you would like more information on spinning, I have a ton of stuff on YouTube. So please check out and subscribe and like and all the things to my YouTube channel. I also have a free, like, members only section on my website, but it is totally free, called Yarn Cult, that was jokingly named by the staff and myself. And we have there's actually different kind of free course options that are on there, as well as just lots of good standalone content, tons of free spinning content on there, as well as there are individual paid, and they're small. I mean, they're small little paid courses, but they are, the difference between the free stuff and the paid stuff is that the free stuff, you kind of have to like choose your own adventure, depending on, you know, what you're looking up, what you know to look up, you know, and doing it in whatever order you find it. Whereas the courses I've set up very like, you don't know what you're doing, let's do this step by step by step, and there's homework and it's in chronological order. So those are a little bit easier if you're trying to figure out, you know, exactly what you want to do with, like I said, there's a drop spindle mini course for starting on a spinning wheel, and then the dream yarn course, which is like everything, and then an art yarn course. So yeah, I keep adding. I like doing digital content. But if you would like to know more on whatever part of spinning you're on, we do have lots of free and paid things, and I do always appreciate you liking and subscribing and all the things on YouTube. That really does help us out. It's a great way for free advertising for small businesses. So not just for me, but any other small businesses or people like me that are on YouTube, you know, we do always appreciate it. So it's not just so that we feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. Free advertising via YouTube is always helpful. So thank you. And if you have any specific questions, hit me up and I will make you a video too.